Well, welcome back to SAFC Live. Delighted to tell you that Sunderland have won 3-0 down at Loftus Road, Danny. Good second half as well, wasn't it?
Well, it certainly was, yeah. I thought in the balance to say it first half, got ourselves in front, didn't we? Perhaps weren't at our best early on, but came through the game pretty much like we did at the weekend, really. And if we're honest, we could have had a couple more goals, couldn't we, to cap it off? But 3-0 away from home. Let's see where it leaves us.
Yeah, we'll get round to that all in good time. But let's have a look at the action first from the game, where Sunderland have came out 3-0.
Yeah, and I thought early on they did start quite well, Queen's Park Rangers. We weren't sure how they were going to go. You know, back at home, could be nervy in front of their own fans, not going great, as we mentioned, struggling to get results. But yeah, I thought they played some okay football at times in the opening spell of the game, and we perhaps weren't quite at our best, like we weren't in the first half at the weekend. But you know, when we've got the players we've got on the pitch, the likes of Patrick and all the others, we're more than capable of turning anybody over. But that one there, half chance, wasn't it, for Jamal Lowe? Didn't have too much to go on throughout the 90 minutes, but that just opened up for him, didn't it? Good touch out of his feet. Looking for that bottom corner, just flew past the post. And then this one, ball from Trey Hume, who was excellent again this evening, ball over the top. And then Gelhard there, yeah, I can see what he's looking for, just to laces, maybe go across the keeper into the other corner. But I think, you know, he's looking for that first goal, and maybe just a little bit of tension in there. And he's just wrong side of the post, isn't it? See his reaction there. But I thought his work rate was fantastic this evening. Never give the centre halves, Dickie and Jimmy Dunn, a second on the ball. Corner there, Dan Bollard, outswingers this evening. A lot of outswingers there. And we set up was quite strange, really, how deep we set up, almost outside the 18-yard box for see Danny Bart and Dan Ballard there getting a run at it if they could get the wrong side, and see there Dan Ballard just too big and strong for his man. Unfortunately, can't quite get the timing on the header, and it's up and over the top. And then Luke coming into the team in midfield. First run out there for him for a start for a while in the middle of the park. But again, he was excellent and he deserved his goal. See this one? Little brush off. I'm sure if it was Gelhard or the defender. But keeper parries that one well wide. And yeah, this is where we started to come into it now. And this is what we're all about, isn't it? When we're flowing, when we're at our best, you see those little give and goes there. 3 or 4 players involved. Barr as well, who contributed throughout the evening. Lovely little touch there. And Patrick, and you fancy him, can choose either corner. Keeper reads him at his near post. Gets the glove on it. So yeah, just coming up towards the end of the half, and I say, well, Luke gets the goal in a second, but we did have 2 or 3 good opportunities as well in that first half where we could have gone in with a bigger lead.
Odd first goal though, wasn't it?
And it was, yeah. It's not great goalkeeping, let's be honest, is it? Dan Ballard, see again, his man's too busy looking where he's going. He's not strong enough. Gets the wrong side of him. Goalie should be throwing his cap on that, makes a mess of it. Parries it, bit of panic sets in. Barr does well, he gets around him, just puts him off, and then he pats it down to Luke O'Neill. I'm not sure what he's appealing at. I think he's trying to claim something in hope, really, but no, he's a couple of goes at it, and good from Luke O'Neill. See the defenders, you said there, I think it's Chris Martin actually picking him up, but they just switch off, don't they? And Luke takes a gamble and gets to the other side of him.
He had a good game, Luke, didn't he? And there he is involved at the back as well.
He'll have enjoyed it, you know. Disappointing his red card against Swansea. Again, we're not talking about that again. I wasn't sure if it was a red or not, but anyway, he's had to bide his time, served his suspension, got back out there tonight, and has a good start in the middle of the park with Alex Pritchard. 2 centre midfielders changing, so you're never quite sure how that's going to go. But I thought they worked quite well in there together, to be fair. And that one there's an easy one for Anthony Patterson, isn't it? Chair was quite lively for them, to be fair, throughout the 90 teams. The one bright spot going forward, there wasn't enough, was there? And then setting off, they did get a few balls from this right hand side, but Anthony Patterson, I thought his handling was excellent again. You know, he's big, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper behind you. There's another one, deep free kick, he come for late on, wasn't it? He just come through the bodies and plucked it out the sky. And as a centre half, I can tell you that's what you want from your goalkeeper. Come and help you out. Chris Martin, he's a nuisance, he throws his weight around.
A few of those balls in the second half in particular from the right hand side were starting to cause problems, and you'll see for a second, that that's what led to the
I think that was
as well.
A concern would have been for Tony Mowbray. They put several balls in from this right hand side. See no pressure on the ball as well. Picks his spots, not a bad ball in, and he gets across Dan Ballard there, just gets a yard on him, but he doesn't get enough on it. And it's that yellow card, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, do you know what's naughty that? And I said there on comms, I've seen some given for reds for them. You think, well, it's not too violent as such, but he knows what he's doing. He's got no intent. Look, the ball, it's 5 yards away, and it's just lashes out at him, doesn't he? And here we are again on the attack. Ball coming into the box. Don't really deal with it too well there, QPR. Dan Bollard's in amongst it.
It's about this point as well where their fans started to get quite critical of them, weren't they?
Yeah, you could just
they
hear
weren't
it, sense
clearing
it,
they weren't passing it. Someone at times Abdullah Bar, he's the handball here.
And this was it again down that right hand side, and again from RG, he knows he's got a man behind him. Maybe a little bit of panic sets in. He's trying to jump, extend himself with his arms to get some leverage, but I think it is a penalty. You see it there in slow-mo. His arm just goes across him. It's on his head, and see all the QPR players' arms go up, and it is a penalty. And Aji Elise's probably thinking, oh no, what have I done? But his goalkeeper's there to bail him out.
Do you think it's intentional, or is it just a bit clumsy on the leap?
I just think sometimes... I'm not sure if I've done one like that.
What a save.
Yeah, it's a great save, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think you think about it in a way. You just jump up and it sort of, your hand reacts to it before you know you've done it. And
I can't believe that save.
It's a great save,
so
isn't it?
good.
He thinks he's tucked it away down the middle. You know, Anthony Patterson's obviously going to his left. And you see him there.
Unbelievable.
And he deserved his clean sheet. Yeah, he's got himself another clean sheet. Back-to-backs for him. Deserved it as well. This one, Gelhard, Patrick does well, doesn't he? Gets to the byline.
He's getting closer, Joe, isn't he? But he didn't get his goal tonight.
Yeah, he's contributed massively tonight, I think, just with his work rate alone. But he could have come off the pitch with a couple of goals, couldn't he? That one first half, wrong side of the post, and this one. It is difficult. I think it's took a nick as well. You see the spin on the ball, and it's just enough. But he's had to really try and concentrate and get over the top of it there. And he does actually get half decent contact on it. But unfortunately, it comes back off the crossbar. This QPR again down this right hand side, stands it up. I thought, that one's dropping in the far corner. You see Chris Martin, I think, isn't it, at the far post. Right back actually done quite well when he come on. See there, Jack, you think's got him. He just gets half a yard, stands a really good ball up to the far post. I thought that one was dropping in the far corner. Getting a few replays, aren't we? There we go. Danny Bart back there. And there's Dennis off the bench. Look, burst of pace. Johansson off the bench, by the way, his first contributions. Clean Dennis Sirkin out. Good advantage from the referee.
Yeah, it was.
And then Jack there, and I just thought he'd stumbled on the ball there. Man coming across as well. Doesn't get enough on the block, and Jack just passes it under the goalkeeper. And see what a feeling there. And I think a few people will say he's not been quite at his levels in recent weeks, and that's probably fair enough from Jack's, standards, what he's got. But a couple of goals against Fulham in the Cup, and then he's had a couple of goals again this evening. And when you get the ball, that's where I like to see Jack out on that left-hand side. I know tonight Tony's opted to play him through the middle, up there alongside Joe Gelhart, but I like to see Jack on the touchline there, like Patrick and like Ahmad on the far side, picking the ball up, driving defenders back towards their own box. You see Dickie there, doesn't want to commit, dangles a leg. Jack just goes past him like he's not there. And then that one seals the game pretty much, doesn't it? And then this Ahmad, we could have had another one. We're coming off the pitch and we perhaps haven't been at our best again, but we could have had 6 or 7 tonight.
You're right, Danny, yeah.
On the counter there, that one there, just a yard or so too much, and then you see Patrick having a little joke with him after, just get the little dink underneath, a little sandwich under the goalkeeper, just tries to pass it past him, but here we go anyway. Subs off the bench, Ekwar into Dan Neil. Jack just puts the brakes on. Good composure from Dan, see Dan there, what it means to him as well. And then Jack again, coming off the pitch with a brace. So, great evening's work down in the capital. Confidence in the boys, 6 points already in the week, with Bristol City to come at home on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Just watching this final goal one more time. Dan Neil involved. And Jack Clark makes it 3-0 for Sunderland. Yes. Let's see what the other scores were around the Championship this evening then. And Norwich City 3, Hull City 1. Birmingham 0, Cardiff City 2, Coventry 1, Millwall 0. That's a good result.
Yeah, that one's helped us out, hasn't it?
Around us in the table. This one isn't though. Burnley 0, Watford 1. So Watford stopped Burnley. Finally, someone has. And Reading 1-1 with Rotherham, who Sunderland have in a week or so's time, don't they? Play Rotherham.
Yeah. So you look at them there again. Millwall. I think they were above us, weren't they, before Cook? Have got a game in hand as well, I think. So that's a good result for us. But it's that one there, isn't it? Burnley at home, you'd fancy them. But you've got to take care of your own job, and we've done that.
Let's see what it does to the Sky Bet Championship this evening. Sunderland are in the playoff positions, having played a game less than Watford, who are above them. Sunderland on 48 points, reading upwards. Watford 49. Same as Luton. Middlesbrough also played a game more than Sunderland on 51. And the top two, despite Burnley's defeat this evening, look like they might be running away
it's tight,
with it.
Isn't it? Well, it's in our hands now, Frankie, isn't it? There, say, but still a long way to go. But it's good to see getting into the playoffs there, and you're looking at teams. Credit to Luton as well, by the way, sat in fourth. But we've got to keep on going, tick the games off. And as I say, the boys will be confident now, back at the Stadium of Light at the weekend against Bristol City.
Okay then, now let's have a look at your thoughts around the world here on #AskDanny. Let's have a look at the first one from Susanna. Hello, Frankie and Danny. Do you think the referee was too lenient with QPR? Also, Patterson is an absolute legend. Watching with my parents, who are newly minted Sunderland fans in Santa Barbara, California. Yes, Susanna.
Well, there you go. You went for San Francisco before, didn't you? You've got California now. Was the ref lenient? Possibly in that first half. We said with Dazelle, he could have gone in the book early on. Obviously, dragged Patrick to the ground, didn't he? A couple of fouls after that as well. And you said there's no bookings in the first half, were there? So, he perhaps was a little bit, but he made up for it in the second half. Johansson's was probably the worst one, wasn't it? Clattered Dennis Cirkin.
That's the first thing he did.
Dennis doesn't need that with bursting forward just back from that head injury, and he got clattered again, but played a big part in that Jack Clark goal. Patterson as well, absolute legend. I just like about him, he's calm, isn't he, behind you. I think we discussed it, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago in terms of goalkeepers, and I've played with all different sorts in my career, and I like a nice, calm goalkeeper behind you. Does what they have to do. And I watch Pato, and he just gets on with his job, and when he saved the penalty, that's the most emotion we've seen from him, I think. It's good to see. He was up there, saved it with his foot, great save, and kept his clean sheet, back-to-backs for him. And I liked his handling as well this evening. I thought he was excellent, balls coming into the box, big, strong, commanding, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper. And just see him, for me, he just keeps on growing with confidence the more games he's playing, and he'll be really enjoying his football at this moment in time. Before
we move on to the next one, Dan, I've just got the stats up for the game. How much possession do you think Sunderland had?
Not as much as you probably. I'm going to say we had about 54%.
Yeah, well, it was actually Queen's Park Rangers with 55%.
Really?
Yeah, to Sunderland's 45. That's quite not usual, is it?
No,
for Sunderland?
No. We usually have our fair share. Well, to be fair, we had 40 odd, haven't we? So, but I suppose it comes down to what you do with the ball when you've got it. And from their point of view, yes, they've shaded possession. Not sure how many shots on target and all that we've got.
8 for us, 2 to them.
There you go. That's the difference, isn't it? It's what you do when you've got the ball. Comes back to Swansea, I think, doesn't it? Prime example.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the next one here on #AskDanny. This one says, what do you reckon on us switching to a 4-4-2 today? Mark from Denmark. Hi, Mark. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, hi, Mark. I wasn't sure about that. Obviously, we went to the graphic, the usual 4-2-3-1. But yeah, it did surprise me, and obviously the personnel as well. With Luke coming back into the team, been playing at centre half, been out of the team, come off the bench a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then obviously Alex Pritchard joining him there. You've got Barr out on the left-hand side.
Yes, you say this, and then you put your graphic up at the beginning. But now you've got positions where Trey Hume can find himself pretty much anywhere on the pitch. Same with Adji Elise as well. So I think Tony Mowbray must say, go on, guys, if you feel he can get forward, just do it.
Yeah, get forward and gamble at times, when we've got good possession. But no, it did. You look at it then, and you've taken Jack Clark, where I think most fans will like him on that left-hand side. You're putting him up top alongside Gelhardt. Now, Tony may be thinking Joe needs a little bit more help in and around him. But looking at him tonight, he did have a couple of opportunities. But I just liked his work rate overall. I said they never give their centre-halves a moment's breath on the ball, really. Jimmy Dunn under pressure all the time. Then he's working across the pitch onto Dickey as well. But yeah, there was that rotation in there. And we were saying there, Abdullah Barr, I think he played well tonight, but I'm not sure what his strongest position is. He looks more of an attacking midfielder for me. That's where I'd probably play him.
He's good at getting the ball and wriggling away.
Yeah, he does.
Players,
I wouldn't say he's quick, but he manoeuvres the ball really well, doesn't he? Manipulates the ball well. But no, I think he done well. There's a lot of positives out there tonight. So switching to a 4-4-2, and I looked at them perhaps as well. I thought we'll match them up. That's what they've been playing this season, and it worked. You can't argue with it because it's worked.
Let's have a look at another thought then, if we can, on here on #AskDanny. This one's from Jack, who says, "How do you take wins and losses?"
How do you take wins and losses? Well, obviously, if they've won tonight, yes, you've enjoyed the win. Obviously at the weekend, and the lads will look at the table. I always say that, don't I? You're getting there. They'll be having a look on their phone, seeing where they're sat in the table. They get back on the bus. I think that back to the hotel tonight. I think they're coming back tomorrow. So they get back there, they'll have a chat, sit around, discuss the game. And they'll say, do you know what, lads, we're in a good position here. Let's keep it going. Don't get ahead of yourselves. And that's what you say at the same time. How do you take the losses? You have to try and put them behind you. Now, you've got a young group there. I always found in my career earlier on, took me a day or two if you'd had a bad result to try and get over it. The older you get, you say to yourself, that's gone now, you've got to put it behind you. And another one's coming in a few days' time. But at this moment in time, there's a lot of positivity in the camp. The lads are confident. And they'll be looking forward to the next one. And they'll be confident at the weekend. You know, there won't be too many coming to the stadium who don't think Sunderland will win that game at the weekend. But it's not that easy. We've seen it at the weekend against Reading. You can't just turn up and expect to win. You have to graft it sometimes. And I'd imagine that'll be the case at the weekend. Let's
have a look at another one then if we can. We have a couple more to get through here, Danny. This one's from Dan, who says, do you think there is anyone we can go for in terms of free agents to give us that extra bit of squad depth? Heard Wickham mentioned, but not too sure about that one. Look from Manhattan, New York City.
I mean, obviously the window's closed now, and this has been a discussion, hasn't it, ongoing? So, I mean, he's obviously maybe talking at the top end of the pitch, and it's been an ongoing discussion, hasn't it? Yeah, we brought Joe in. Unfortunately, Ross picked up his injury, which isn't going to help us between now and the end of the season, but we've got to get on with it. And you see, you know, Tony's obviously looking at his squad and he's thinking sometimes I might have to rotate it. He's put Jack up there tonight to try and help Joe, as we just mentioned. But I'm not sure in terms of Connor Wickham. And you're looking at lads, obviously they've taken Chris Martin. I think some people mentioned, why don't we go for Chris Martin? I think he's 34. Maybe the club are looking at certain players and perhaps think that doesn't fit the mould, what they're looking to build at the club. And maybe not getting bodies in just for the sake of getting bodies in. But no, I'm sure that they'll assess things. And sometimes as well, the lads now, if they haven't got a club, are they going to be match fit? You know, you're bringing players into the club with what we've got 17 games or so to go, and you've got to try and, one, get them up to speed. Two, are they going to have a big impact in coming into the squad? Are they going to go straight into the squad or not? So there's a lot of things you're going to have to weigh up. And I'm sure the recruitment staff and Christian and the other board members have weighed it up and thought, we've got what we've got, that's what we're going with, and let's see how they go. And obviously at this moment in time, we're going in the right direction.
Okay, then let's have a look at what will be the final hashtag Ask Danny this evening. This one's from Ben. In your opinion, what do you think the possibility of playoffs is?
Well, it's a good question. I fired this one up on my Instagram last night, actually, a little poll there, just to get a feel of what the fans are thinking. And I think it was 40% went for the playoffs. Yeah. And then 7th to 12th went for, I think it was 50% thought we were going to finish between 7th and 12th. But I'm confident. I keep saying it. Yeah, I don't see why not. Nobody in the league, I've thought, they're streets ahead of us. You know, you look at Burnley and you look at Sheffield. Over the course of the season, they're running away in first and second. But on the course of what we see, who we've played against over 90 minutes, or some teams we've played them over 180 minutes, there's nobody, I think, they're streets ahead of us. So there'll be a confidence in the camp. I'll tell you that now, because I've been in that position myself with the boys. And when you're winning games of football, you feel like you're going to go out on the pitch and you're going to turn over the next team you come up against. But yeah, I'm confident we can hold on to a spot where we are. It'd be interesting to see if we do have a dip. If we do, I know what you're waiting to say here, because I've just heard it in my earpiece as well. But yeah, I'm confident we can stay. We've got 17 games or so to go, so I don't see why not. If we do have a dip, it's how the boys react. It's just the last tweet that came in. How do you get over losses? You have to try and put it behind you and look to what we've done well so far this season, and you get ready to go again.
Well, you can reveal it if you want, Danny, because
I sort of heard it. I think somebody scored, haven't they? Is that right?
Burnley have scored. Right. Burnley have scored, which means Sunderland have actually moved up to 5th this evening, which means the playoffs are definitely on, Danny Collins.
Hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We will be back in action, of course, on Saturday, back here at the Stadium of Light, where we're broadcasting from this evening. We've got Bristol City in town. And it's a 3 p.m. kickoff for that one, so we'll be on air on the pitch side probably from about 2:30 for that one. So it's finished tonight down at Loftus Road. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 3. Even the legend of Ron Burgundy couldn't help them this evening.